Welcome to MCOM part first students. We are discussing auditing concepts. In last period, we have discussed seven auditing concepts. In the present lecture, I am also focusing another seven concepts of auditing as related to auditing standards. Auditing standards are the principles fact as related to check accounting records. There are also another seven concept of auditing, namely independence, integrity, confidentiality, skill and competence, audit documentations, using the work of others, and true and fair view. These are the seven things we are discussing as related to auditing standards. Here, first concept is independence. Independence concept refers to the necessity of external audited not being under the influence of the management of the enterprise under audit. It means that the auditor work independently. He does not require to bother by any personnel from the management. So auditor should work freely without influence of others. Independently he should work, and on the basis of that he should draw opinion on the basis of financial statement presented by the enterprise. An auditor should be free from bias, prejudice, and should possess an independent approach. In the today's world, independent approach is very important. Independent approach means think logically, rationally, and give justification to the concerned facts. So the approach of auditor should be independent. He should not work with suspicious mind or by reserving certain bias. So independence is an important concept of auditing. As related to auditing standards, it is clear that auditor should work independently and he will not do the bother or botheration from the management personnel. So what is real and what is truth, that are important things as related to auditor. Another concept is integrity. Integrity is essential for overall development. So one statement is very important: united we stand, divided we fall. It means that integrity is very essential aspect of every field of activity. An auditor should be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Sincere, impartial, and straightforward. These are the qualities required for auditor. That shows integrity. That is integrity principles. An auditor should be honest. Honest means work honestly. The honesty is the best policy of the word. Sincere. Sincerity is also essential. Sincerity means follow the rules and things and justify the things. Impartial. Partiality is not allowed in auditing and straightforward. An auditor not to practice dishonest. Dishonest is not allowed in auditing, means for satisfying and client's requirement. For satisfying client requirements, auditor should not work dishonestly. It means that auditor should work honestly. The auditor should be a man of high integrity. The auditor should possess high level of integrity. This is the another concept of auditing. Confidentiality, confidentiality, confident. From that, we have prepared here confidently. The auditor should respect the confidential information acquired during the course of his or her work. The auditor should keep confidential information that sought from client. The auditor should not provide information about the clients to third parties. It is duty of an auditor. It is legal obligation on an auditor. He does not provide information to third party regarding client. If in certain cases, if law permitted, the auditor should may disclose information with the consent of client. Confiden- Confidentiality also covered by chartered accountant regulations. This concept is focusing on keep confidential clients information and the auditor should not provide client information to third party without permission of client. If law is permitted, he should disclose certain information to third party on permission of clienters. Skill and competence. Skill is acquired by sincere efforts. Skill is the mantra of today's world. We need skillful personnel for performing various types of tasks. The auditor should acquire relevant training and experience. Training is a short-term task. Training is required to get competence to the auditor. On the basis of training, the auditor approach properly towards his job. Experience. Experience is the best teacher. It is not easily available. Experience is not sell in market. It gets by making sincere efforts. The auditor should be competent, skillful, and keep himself update and upgrade with the latest development. Change is the law of life. Things not remaining constant. There is a constant changing circumstances. That's why the auditor should adopt latest developments in the field of accounts and auditing. He should keep himself update and upgraded. The auditor should be competent. Competence is the best policy. Self-competence is the best competence. Also, auditor should be competent and skillful. If if auditor is competent, he do better way his job. The auditor should be capable for applying skill in practical situation. Only skill is not enough. Application of skill properly is also important thing in relation to auditor. So auditor should be capable for applying his skill in practical situation or practical problem. Situation may also vary. So by considering the existing situation, the auditor should apply proper skill for solving practical problems occurred during the audit. Audit documentation. Another concept of auditing is audit documentation. For that, auditing standard 230 is laid down. Documentation is very important aspects in auditing. Audit documentations deals with auditor's responsibility to prepare audit documentation for an audit of financial statement. It is the task of an auditor to prepare relevant documents for conducting audit work and for checking the financial statements made by client organization. Audit documentation refers to the record of audit procedures performed. Audit documentation and documents. There is a silent difference. Documents means documents kept by the client in for evidence, and audit documentation means documentation prepared by the auditor for audit work and after completion or for performing audit work. In audit documentation, the auditor should record procedures performed by him and his team, relevant audit evidence obtained, and conclusions the auditor reached. The auditor should draw relevant conclusions on the basis of a record made by him in the form of audit documentation, and he reached towards the proper opinion regarding his audit work. The auditor should maintain relevant documents which are important to ensure that the audit was carried out in accordance with the basic principles. Principles are fundamental truth. It is necessary to adopt basic principles for performing audit work. Therefore, auditor should maintain proper documents on the basis of basic principles. Principles are showing ways of working. Principles are made on the basis of experience. These are the fundamental truth and applicable in various situations. For maintaining documentation, the auditor has required to record his observation on working papers. It means that while at the time of audit work, auditor should maintain records for drawing conclusions on working papers or working notes. Preparing sufficient appropriate audit documentation on timely basis helps to enhance the quality of audit. In order to enhance quality of audit, audit documentations are very important. This audit documentation should be sufficient, appropriate, and prepared on timely basis. It means that In audit documentation, three important aspects are very important, namely sufficient, appropriate, and timely. Now we are discussing the another audit standards two here jointly. One is using the work of other auditors and another is using the work of experts. But I have these two standards combined here and titled as using the work of others. It means that while conducting auditor, nobody is perfect in this world. So support is required from external as well as internal parties. In order to draw correct conclusion and presentation of opinion by the auditor has required to utilize the knowledge of other experts, experience of other auditors or other internal auditors or branch auditors or expert in the particular field of area. If the auditor delegates some work to others, it is necessary to apply principle of delegation of authority. The auditor has required to delegate his authority for carrying audit work on time basis. For that purpose, the auditor should delegate some work to others and uses work performed by others. He continues to be responsible for forming and expressing his or her opinion on the financial information. Though responsibility is delegated, but the work has been delegated, but responsibility remains on auditor. It means that it is the duty of an auditor to express his or her opinion on financial statements prepared by client organization. 1 plus 1 makes an organization. Organization is formed for achieving certain objectives. There are two types of organization: commercial organizations and non-commercial organizations. Commercial organizations are mostly concerned with business activities, and non-commercial are concerns or organizations are concerned with non-commercial organization and serving the society with proper approach. But here we are mostly concerned with the business related organizations, and business or organization have required to prepare financial statements, and it is the work of an auditor to check accounting records of the client organization and give his opinion regarding financial statements prepared by the client organization. The concept considers involvement of other expert. This is important. This concept, using the work of other, this concept considers involvement of other experts. Auditor is expert, but we also auditor is also depend on other experts for certain type of inquiry or for making certain type of judgment. In the audit of financial statement, the auditor has required to use the work of others intelligently. The auditor should be intelligent. Intelligent means use knowledge and skill appropriately, confidently, without bias. The auditor should work. The auditor should obtain reasonable assurance that work performed by other auditors or expert is adequate for his or her purpose. That is also important. While using the work of others for giving opinion on financial statements prepared by a client organization, the auditor has required to depend upon other auditors or experts. Therefore, the auditor should have proper assurance regarding the work performed by other auditors or experts. Another thing of discussion is true and fair view. True and fair view. This word, these words are used by the auditor in his audit report. The accounts are said to be true and fair in the following situations. The books of accounts have recorded all business transactions correctly. If the business house has recorded all business transactions correctly, that is called as true and fair. In auditing, we have seen that types of errors. Omission errors. It means certain transactions are not recorded. At that time, that type of errors should be occurred. So auditors should see that type of mistake occurred or not. But while stating true and fair view, the following facts should be considered by the auditor. The books of accounts have recorded all business transactions correctly. The accounts have been prepared according to accepted principles and accounting standards. It means that all accounts have been prepared according to accepted principles and accounting standards. Accounting standards are followed in India known as Ind AS. Also, international accounting standards are there. Accounting principles are playing dominant role for recording different kind of accounting transactions. Therefore, the accounts have been prepared on the basis of accepted accounting principles and standards. There are no errors and frauds in accounts. The objective of auditing is two types: primary objectives and secondary objectives. In primary secondary objectives, there are three important secondary objectives. First is to detect and prevent of errors, to detect and prevent of frauds, to see manipulation of books of accounts. So auditors should see that the all accounts prepared by the client organization are errors free or frauds free. The financial statements that have been prepared in conformity with the books of accounts and all mandatory provisions of the applicable laws. There are certain mandatory provisions that should be applied by the client, and the auditor should see that mandatory fields provisions as per the business laws applied by the client organization. The profit and loss account shows true and fair results of entity's operations. The profit and loss account shows either profit or loss. It is an indicator of work performed by the client organization. If the uh, client organization gets profit, we can say that the organization is trying to fulfill the objectives. The main objective of any kind of business organization is to earn a profit. And the value of assets and liabilities appears in the balance sheet is showing correct financial position. It means that balance sheet is a sheet of balances. There are two major sides of balance sheet: capital and liabilities, assets and property. So on the basis of balance sheet, the auditor can express his opinion about the financial position of the client organization. So true and fair view is important while drafting report by the auditor. So in the present lecture, we have discussed 7 facts known as auditing concepts as related with auditing standards. In last lecture, we have discussed 7 facts or concepts as related to auditing standards. In today's lecture, we have discussed 7 another concepts of auditing as related to auditing standards. In coming lecture, I would also express another 7 concepts of auditing as related to auditing standards. So friends, here I am concluding my speech. Thank you for patiently listening. Your participation is very important because participation shows the sincerity and regularity of doing work. So you should attend all lectures properly and listen carefully and interact or record certain facts as related to your working as well as by considering syllabus nature of this paper. So again, thank you.